Hello and welcome to I Was a Teenage EXOCOLONIST. This video is kindly sponsored by Finji, and if you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. Now, this game looks very colorful, it looks very friendly, but there are many content warnings that you're going to need to know about. This has a lot of mature content, and you have to be aware of that. Alright, so these are the content warnings right here, just because, as I say, the game looks very colorful, and don't get me wrong, it is. I love the graphic style in this game, actually. But you just have to know there are these things in the game, okay? So it is very much an adult experience, and as I say, it may be, you know, looking like good old little frolics through the fields full of wonderful alien, you know, flora and fauna and so on, but you can get absolutely murdered. Well, maybe literally, maybe not literally, not entirely sure, but we're going to start a new game here and see how we go. Basically, this game is about decisions. It's about choices, and it's about the actions that you take over a 10-year span. Now, these actions will have a very big effect on what actually happens in the end, because basically you are on a colony ship full of humans, and you have I don't think it's crash landed, but you've kind of landed on this alien planet, and everyone is trying to survive, and you have to build up your various attributes and skills, and you can pick from a variety of different jobs. I believe there are over 20 of them. I think there are 25 in total. You can also get additional skills. There are 15 different skills to increase over the course of the time. And there is also a sort of strategy/puzzle game that you can play within the game that improves or allows you to win these little mini games. It's kind of like you know, improving your character by doing that. And there are over 250 cards that you're going to be able to discover through interactions with the other characters. And if you're into this, there's also 10 dateable characters as well. So for me, I absolutely love this kind of game. It allows, I believe it is 29 different endings as well. Pretty crazy. So yeah, as you can see here, even if you didn't see the content warning at the very start, and even if I didn't point it out, it's going to tell you that right here. And yeah, I'm just letting you know that there are mature subjects to deal with here. All right, you wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke, fire. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. What's going on, or climb out? I'll say what's going on. You try to speak, but the words come out jumbled. Your throat seizes around a lungful of choking smoke, and you feel dizzy and confused. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog, like from Earth? The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. And that is the prologue, and I gotta say, I am extremely intrigued as to the mystery surrounding this game as well, because I've obviously played through a little bit of it myself in my off-screen time, because I was really intrigued by this whole experience. And there seems to be some kind of, not sure if it's like a time travel kind of thing, or I'm not sure really what's happening with it. It's a bit of a mystery, but that's the point. You're gonna have to play through it to find out, you know, that's what's really cool. Anyway, You are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4 in the hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you... I have no idea what to... Should I really just call myself reformist? Oh, come on. It's space, I guess, kind of. Ugh. Yes, anyway. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mom says. Alright, so obviously you can change what you look like right here as you grow older. As you can see right here, if you want feminine appearance, androgynous appearance, or masculine appearance, you can also choose, you know, your pronouns and all that wonderful stuff. And your vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Vertumna will be like. And these are the stats that I was talking about earlier. This is very much a simulator in a couple of aspects. In other words, you're going to be increasing all of these skills. And dependent on how you do and how effective you are in doing this, it is going to affect how good your ending ends up to be. So obviously there's a little bit of trial and error, I suppose, here and there, but I'm very much looking forward to finding that out. Every child on the Stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. You can have eagle eyes, extra fingers, absorbent brain, super strength, or calm temperament. Or you can choose to have nothing at all if you don't want that. I'm actually going to be going for super strength. My first playthrough, I shouldn't really call it my first playthrough, but my first little foray into the game. I played for maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And I was starting to get carried away, you see. That's me. I start to get carried away when I enjoy something, and, well, there's no stopping me at that point. So I have to tear myself away and actually create the video. Anyway, super strength is what we're going to be going for. And, ooh, look at this. This is the card that we get. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Uncle Tonin says it's a lazy person's dream. Eat whatever you want, don't exercise at all, and still look like you spend all day at the gym. Wow, that would be amazing. That would be really, really nice for me. That's for sure. Anyway, you're incredibly strong for your age, but you go easy on your friend, and you can decide who you want your childhood friend to be. And, well, they all have different personalities, and they all act differently when you interact with them. And for me personally, I actually quite like this young boy right here. I think he's kind of cool. And generally, I kind of think that he kind of resembles how I was as a kid, I guess. So, I mean, not adventurous, but the quiet part. So we're gonna go for him, and he is also the twin brother of Tangent, and I think Tangent is actually pretty cool as well. She seems pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, we're actually going to be gaining some stats from having him as our friend, and we also gain a card as a result. We don't necessarily have to take him, so technically if we wanted to go for something else, if we wanted to go for Tangent or something like that, then you're going to get different stats. So I'm getting plus 10 bravery and plus 10 perception from this, and we also gain some friendship, and we also gain a memory. So I'm gonna be going for him. Why not? He seems like a pretty cool guy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, you're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Howell says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble, then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, reformist, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Now, this icon right here, as you can see, dependent on what you've done in the conversation or what action you've taken or what happens to you, this is stress. And you can have a maximum of 100 stress, and, well, you're going to see what happens when we get down on the planet, but point is, well, yeah, you can see here, we're getting stressed out like no one's business here. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you try to be brave for others, I guess. And there we go. We're putting on a tough face. That gives us another card that we can use in the strategy/puzzle-ish game that we're going to be participating in. That's basically one of the main reasons why you can actually increase your stats. So it's a good idea to try and, get really good cards for that. Anyway, sometimes you pretend to be confident so the people around you will be less scared. You look over at your classmate Tang and realize she's doing the same thing. She gives you a hard smile. You return it and keep focusing on your breathing. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too. Your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of déjà vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall, head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. "Hurry up," she says. "I'm not going to let you miss this." Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Ground? Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns streaming through the windows, you peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around, outside, on the ground. You better get out there and join them. All right, cautiously step outside to your new life. I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna be cautious. That's me. I'm cautious or slow, either one. Slow, lazy, all of the above. Anyway, oh, Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. "You're awake. Are you all better? You better go see your dad." She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. To walk, click on the ground, click on characters to talk to them, or you can walk up to them with WASD and press space if you want to do that. I personally prefer doing that. Anyway, okay, so this is basically the first initial area that you're going to get to explore, and you can interact with a number of different little environments that you can go into, and these things will determine what kind of activity that you're going to be doing for that month. I'm pretty sure the game will tell us about that in just a second. "Oh, reformist." Your dad gives you a big warm hug. "I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry." He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Okay, or you love your dad. Yeah, we'll go with that. "Welcome to Fatumna," he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. "All right, it's beautiful." "I'm glad you agree," he says. "Your mother and we've been waiting a long time to see grass and trees again, even if they are purple." Oh, before I forget. He pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in the medbay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of déjà vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. Tell him you know what's in it. You describe the medallion and your dad as he hands you the package. Oh, who ruined the surprise? Was it Seek? I'll bet it was Seek. They hate fun. He grins and adds, don't tell them I said that. You start to explain that nobody told you, but someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Reformist, he says, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're going to fix it, your mother and I. I realize that his voice literally changed like 6 times. I do apologize. Oh, that happens. I have no idea what kind of voice he should have, you see, that's the thing. Anyway, Professor Howe is expecting you in classes, if you're feeling up to it. Your dad points, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Reformist. I love you. Yeah, I don't know why he's switching between prim and proper person to rough and tumble man. Okay, love you too, Dad. All right. So, yeah, to enter buildings. Okay, yeah. So we know how to enter buildings. Basically, you go up to them, click on them, or you can go up to them and press space, either one you want, and then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You'll only have time to focus on a few things. You see, now that's the big deal here. And there's our childhood friend. We can speak to him, and you can see here. You see, I don't know how to say his name. Is it Dice? I'm going to say Dice, okay? You see Dice sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly, without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, Dice whispers, I think there are monsters out there. I'm just going to say our parents will keep us safe. Oh, look at that. I actually gained something. What did I gain here? Rebellion. I gained loyalty. Oh, I see. So we can actually be more rebellious or less rebellious. Oh, okay. Didn't see that in my previous little foray into the adventure. Maybe, Dice mumbles. He doesn't look convinced. He looks down at his feet. If you believe everything they say, I guess you should go to school now, like a good boy, he sneers. You shake the vision from your head. It was just a dream. Dice must have made you imagine it with his creepy talk. Why does he always have to be like this? Yes, indeed. Anyway, we are half stressed, as you can see right there. I can speak to anyone I want that is out here. I can speak to this person as well. I have no idea who this is, actually. I've never spoken to them before in my other playthrough. So, hiya, Reformist. Anemone seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, because it isn't cold, but it's still neat and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Anemone is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. Alright, I'm going to say, what are you making? Just snow spirals, she says. But earlier me and Carl made a big snow pal. You missed it while you were sleeping in the medbay. She smiles her broad gap-toothed smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. Alright, I'm going to see you later then. Not if I see you first, Anemone says, flashing you a peace sign. Hey, maybe see you in class. Oh, right, you should probably go to class like your mom said. Your kids are expected, you kids are expected to manage your own schedules, so you don't have to, you don't feel up to it, but it's not a bad idea. All right, yeah, so class, I think, is over here. This is engineering. Technically, we can do something like this. So here's the first little bit of how you increase your statistics. So if we want to study life sciences, we're going to be gaining 15 stress, but we're going to be gaining +2 biology and +1 reasoning. Or we can do humanities and we'll study persuasion and creativity. Personally, I think it would probably be a good idea to I have no idea what to do. Let's do humanities, I suppose. Welcome, reformist. This is the guy that's going to have that voice. Professor Howell greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities, history, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry too. He seems excited about that last bit. By the way, if anyone's interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congruence's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn. Because I was up late repairing Congruence's subterminal and I could use a nap, I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Alright, so we can basically just decide whatever we want to do, and I'm going to say I feel safe here. Vertumna colony is a bastion of security in an otherwise chaotic universe. Well, you don't put it that poetically, but you write about its big strong walls and steadfast guards and how much you like your bedroom snug in the belly of the ship. And now we can get to work. And here we go. So this is our first little activity. When you work or go to class, you'll play a quick card challenge as the month passes. Bear in mind, these get more difficult as time goes on, and you can actually turn on hard challenges if you find this too easy. Anyway, move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. The order matters. If your total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your card, some challenges can't be won, but you still get a reward. Alright, so here we go. Bonus for flushes. It's basically poker. It's a bit like poker, but it's a little bit more puzzle-ish, I guess you could kind of call it. Anyway, so same color together or same number together, they are going to get you bonus points. And you can also get bonus for straights and flushes, pairs, and so on and so forth. So in other words, if you do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, well, wait a minute. Why is that a straight? Oh, increasing for, oh, okay. So it doesn't need to be sequential. So it can be 0, 2, 3, 4, or it can be 1, 2, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So technically, it doesn't have to have all the numbers in a row. Okay, that's actually good to know. Didn't know that before. All right, so yeah, anyway, we have super strength, which is basically going to win us this very, very easily, in my opinion. But otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. So these are the 2 zeros that I have available right here. That gives me a small bonus. And then we're just going to be putting these together as well. And that gives me another bonus. And then boom, I can do the 5. And there we have it. We've won. That's it. That is how you win these little challenges. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenge and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a month off to relax in the quarter's wing. So there you go. I didn't get any kudos this time because I obviously didn't get the highest value hand, which makes me very disappointed actually, because I actually did relatively well last time, but oh well, never mind. Let's try to do a little bit better next time, shall we? Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric, when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mum watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear that, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles. And Professor Howell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are a lot of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future, and if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends, they may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. And there we go. So we unlocked a new challenge that we can now participate in. And as you can see, now time has passed and we are now going to mid-quiet. I don't exactly understand the separation between the various months at the moment, but I think it is, yes, it is the quiet season, as you can see right there at the top. And we are age 10 at the moment. So the game ends when you get to age 20. So do bear that in mind. Okay, let's actually interact with our father right here and have a look. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Playing in the fresh air. He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumno is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it will be real hot then. You'll see. All right, so we've just got a little bit of exposition and things like that to, experience in talking to people, and that's really, really nice in my opinion. It actually provides a huge amount of background on the world itself. And for me personally, I just really love doing the challenges. I think the challenges are really, really fun. Anyway, the greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from Earth that might belong in a desert, jungle, or temperate forest. Some are so delicate you have to spray off any germs in an airlock before you can enter. The seasonal garden outside is dotted with blue nobodies, little flowers with what look like wriggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains it's a decoy meant to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flower. Alright, wow, good to know. Anyway, we're going to be doing shoveling dirt. Yes, it's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Oh boy. Good morning, Reformers. Looks like you're working for your old lady. Hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my son. She walks you around the geoponics wing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste, and equipment from one place to another. Get comfortable with this, she says, pushing a squeaky old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you. Now, any questions before you start moving that dirt? Where do I move it again? From over there, she points to a dirt pile, to there. She points to an identical pile 10 meters away. She sees your confusion. We had some very precious soil from Earth on the ship, full of all the nutrients and bugs and bacteria our plants need to grow. But it was lost in an accident. Now we have to make more from scratch using Vertumnon soil. This is part of the process. Alright, let's get to work. That's my boy, your mom says, slapping you on the back. You stumble a little. Okay, here we go. So we got +2 toughness actually. That's pretty cool. And I did get a little bit of extra stress. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And good somehow. You can feel your muscles growing already. Alright, so here's the challenge to shovel dirt, and this is going to be very, very interesting, because I don't have enough stress, or spare stress, to be able to push through. Push through is basically an auto win. It's kind of like an auto win button, but only if you have enough stress. And you obviously can't do this every single time, because otherwise you're going to be spending all the time in the living quarters trying to relieve your stress, and it's going to be a lot less efficient than actually winning these challenges. And if you do that all the time, it's not going to work. It's really just not going to work. Anyway, let me see what I can do here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this. Gonna do... actually... I'm going to do something like this instead. Okay, that's actually not making any difference whatsoever. So let's actually do this instead. There we go. That is a huge win for us right there. Can I actually make this better though? Yes, I think I can. Let's do this. There we go. Yep, super goal. Look at that. There we go. I got a super goal. Just purely for the fact that I was able to... Yeah, look at that. Plus... Oh, wow. We got +3 from super goal. Yeah, look at that. We gained so much toughness. That is really, really nice. This week, you have a few more bouts of deja vu. Remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning, you were sure Professor Howell was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Howell walked away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick and need to go to the medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? Oh, I'm gonna say secret powers are fun. You start keeping a private journal on your hollow palm, recording the events where you remember something before it happens. You also write down your dreams, when they have that feeling of being real. You like the idea of being magic and seeing the future, but some of those dreams are very scary. You hope that, like Professor Howell's hash browns, they don't all come true. Alright, so we're now into mid-quiet season, which, actually late quiet season, sorry, because we were just in mid-quiet. So this is late quiet. So basically, quiet, as far as I'm aware, is winter. I'm pretty sure it's like winter. And you can also, later on in the game, you can do things that are called expeditions. And doing expeditions, it basically requires a certain amount of toughness or bravery skill. And you go out here, and this guy will allow you to pass if you have the specific requirement. But obviously at the moment I don't really have that. And what I'm going to actually be doing right now is I'm literally just going to be going in here and relaxing in the lounge. That is what I am going to do. We're going to approach Mars and Dice, I guess, or sit alone with your hollow palm. What does this icon mean right here? What do I get? Ah, I get a card. Okay, I'm actually going to do that just purely for the fact that I want this card. You know, I want that to try and help us to win these challenges. Anyway, sometimes the best company is yourself. You find a quiet corner of the lounge and curl up in a cozy egg-shaped chair with your hollow palm. You check your HoloNet notifications, nobody bugging you, good. Then watch some vids from the archive. Ah, maximum relaximum. It reminds me of maximum relaxance, or what is that? What does that mean? I don't know, I can't remember now. Anyway, there you go. Minus 100 stress. We also gained +1 friendship with Tammy for some reason or another. But there you go. We also gained a couple of extra cards. There we go. Very nice. And now it's early pollen, which indeed is probably spring, I assume. Probably spring. And now everyone's changed their positions, as you can quite clearly tell. And we can speak to Tammy right here. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you were her study partner? Used to play with her? I actually have no idea. Used to play with her, I guess. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mom died, her dad used all his nano printer creds to print her a different doll every month for a whole year. Her ears perk up when she sees you. Oh, hello, Reformist. Your name is really strange. If only, wouldn't it be fun if she said that? No, she would never say that, I don't think. Anyway, yeah. Oh, hello, Reformist, she says. Her voice is soft and dreamy like a beam of starlight. Do you want to play dolls? I sure do. Well, technically, I probably wouldn't, but I don't know. Maybe we want her to be our love interest. Maybe that would be kind of nice. I don't really know. I was thinking Tammy or Tangent, possibly. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know them well enough to really click with their personalities just yet. But, well, we'll see. Anyway, You don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she has even more of them now. She takes you to her quarters and brings out the entire Spacey Stacy doll collection. A disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements and 2 super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at the programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The 2 of you spend the afternoon making up stories of their rise to stardom as professional dancers. That's actually pretty fun, I think. That actually seems pretty fun. Anyway, yeah, what I'm going to do now is we are pretty much going to be doing geoponics. We're going to be doing a lot of toughness. I want to try and increase my toughness quite a lot. I also want to get a relatively decent amount of kudos. I actually don't even know what kudos is going to do. And as you can see here, looking for more difficulty, this harder card challenges option will keep you on your toes. Want to focus on the story? Well, you can disable card challenges altogether. As you can see here, this will replace future minigames with a quick coin flip based on your age and skills. You can change either option anytime from the settings menu. So literally, this is for anyone. This is what's really, really cool. This is for anyone. Basically, if you want harder challenges, they have harder challenges. If you want to remain just doing exactly what we have been doing so far and just having normal difficulty stuff, that's great too. But if you want to skip the whole thing altogether and you just want the story, then you can do that too. It's really wonderful in my opinion. Anyway, let's take a look here. What are we going to go for? Okay, so technically, ooh, we might be able to get a straight here. If we can do this. Wait a minute, that's not right. Look at that. Oh, now that is a super goal. Look at that, that's a super goal. Oh yeah, it's really, really nice that I actually saw that. But look at how much toughness I get from that. That's really, really good. You wake from an afternoon nap. The dream you're in is one you've had many times. The air is strangely pink and fluffy, kind of sticky, and you have to push your way through it. It feels like every step takes an eternity. You push through the pink cloud and emerge into the children's creche, a room you know well, to see your friend Tammy standing before an enormous bear made of pure light. It lunges at her, through her, and she collapses to the ground like a fainting fairy tale princess. You wake with your heart racing. Tammy is leaning over you where you've been sleeping in a nest of pillows. She shakes your shoulder gently. "Oh, I'm sorry, Reformist," she says, as if speaking to a small child. I think you were having a nightmare. Are you okay?" "Are you? Nothing bad happened in the dream, but you feel sick with dread." Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Sedent is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay?" Alright, okay. We need to go and save her, obviously, right? Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. You feel groggy and need a minute to clear your head. That dream. Alright, forget dreams, get that... forget dreams, get that candy. No, we're not going to do that. We are going to go and save Tammy. If we can. You sprint down the hall to the children's creche, where the little kids play and learn during the day. It's empty. All the younger kids are probably off eating candy with Auntie Sedent. You spot Tammy tidying up some drawing supplies near the crafts bins. Above her, a holo projector displays an enormous floating teddy bear made of purple light. It bobs silently in the air. Mr. Bearsworth. A decade of happy memories playing with it flash through your mind in an instant. Tammy stands up on her toes and reaches for the switch to turn it off. You slam into her, knocking her off her feet onto the ground. At the same moment, the holo projector sparks and explodes. The bear disappears and the whole room goes dark. And we saved her. Yes. Oh, I am. Oh, that. Wow. You know what? In my. Okay, I'm gonna say something real quick here. Before, I'm not sure if I had an option to actually save her before, or maybe I missed it. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. Not entirely sure, but the last time that I played, she died. Okay, this girl died, and I thought to myself, what happened? Because I didn't realize maybe something happened, and I could have done something. Anyway, This actually makes me feel really, really good about this, because saving a person's life, come on now. You gotta feel good about that, right? Anyway, in the dim emergency lighting, you see Tammy's eyes wide with surprise and fear. She sits up and rubs her elbow, staring at you. Alright, sorry, are you hurt? It's okay, she sniffles, looking like she might start crying. Why did you do that? Owie. I just saved your life. My life? She says. She peers into the dark room, looking even more frightened. How? You try to explain that the holoprojector was going to shock her, but she doesn't seem to understand. What? How? But it's Mr. Bearsworth, she says. It's just a toy. She doesn't believe you, but that's okay. You're just happy that you followed your dream and got here in time. You decide not to mention the dream, since she seems weirded out already. After a minute, the lights come back on, the projector is dead, a thin trickle of stinky smoke coming from the base. Don't worry, Tammy says, brightening as she gets to her feet. Professor Howell can fix it. He can fix anything. By the time you find the professor and finish cleaning up, you've forgotten all about the pink candy in the cafeteria. Okay, so I know for a fact that last time when I played this, I went to the cafeteria and I got the candy. And it's actually a card that gives you, I think, like 4 value or something like that. And I got a card from Tammy now that is 4 value as well. So I actually really love this, because every single time you see that card in one of these challenges, you're going to be reminded about that particular event. You're going to think to yourself, oh, I have that card because of X thing. And I actually, I love that. Gotta say, I really, really love that. As I said to you before, personally, for me, these kinds of games are super, super cool. I love I know this is going to sound really weird, but I really love the stat increasing. I found a hefty red XENO egg. Okay, better take that and hide it away so that a xenomorph can spawn and kill us all. No, obviously just joking. I don't think that's what's going to happen. Or is it, actually? I have no idea. Anyway, the point is, that's what I really love about these kinds of games. Stat increasing, adventure, simulation, puzzle-ish kind of games. Really love that, with a heavy emphasis on story and player choice. That's exactly what you're getting here. Anyway, I'm going to actually speak to Tammy and see what she says. Tammy is sitting down in the grass with a baby on her lap. They're playing nicely with some flowers or a strand of the beads in Tammy's hair or something. Tammy keeps gently removing her hair from the baby's mouth. Oh, reformist! She giggles as you join her. Aren't babies the best? There are so many new babies in the creche. You'd think we were starting a colony or something. Tammy laughs. But the parents are too busy doing other work, and somebody needs to take care of the little ones. She looks down lovingly to the baby, who is now sucking on part of her skirt, getting it good and damp with baby drool. You could help too. It would be fun. Okay, so we've now unlocked a new challenge, which is babysitting in the living quarters. The baby chooses this moment to spit up a big puddle of pale yellow liquid onto Tammy's dress. Oopsie! Tammy coos and picks the baby up. Then she holds them out toward you. Could you take them for a minute while I find a towel, reformist? The baby hiccups and rolls their eyes. They still look a little queasy to you. Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. I'm going to say, of course. You hold the baby against your shoulder and pat their back the way you've seen parents do sometimes. They let out a satisfyingly loud belch, and you feel a trickle of liquid run down your back. Oh dear. But you don't care, because there's nothing better than that fresh baby smell. You decide you might take Tammy up on that babysitting job. Okay, so what does that actually give me? Okay, so now here's the thing. For me, I'm looking for the stats, alright? I'm looking for the stats. So let me actually just have a look and see what kind of stats we might get from this. What do we actually get? What is this? We get... Wow, +7 kudos, we get creativity, we get empathy, and we also get +1 friendship with Tammy. Obviously, if we want +1 friendship with Tammy, then that's a really, really good way to do things. I'm not sure if we get any friendship with anyone else for doing the geoponics, but I really want to get my toughness up as high as it possibly can. I would like to get to 20 toughness, because I think there's something that might happen in the future where 20 is the threshold for that. Obviously, it's out of 100, and there's a lot of gameplay in this. So I'm gonna do this, and then we'll see. You join Cal at a particularly fragrant pile of compost. He's trying to use his hoverboard as a wheelbarrow, carefully pushing compost off it into the pile. Don't you just love this? Cal asks excitedly. Your hoverboard? Yeah, it's cool. No, he says. I mean, just this. He waves his arms, dirt encrusted up to the elbows, to take in the entire greenhouse. We get to help plant stuff and watch it grow. Even if we're just moving dirt around, we're still helping. Well, why do you like it so much? Well, he considers. I like digging holes in the dirt because it's so full of surprises down there. I found a worm. Wait, let me see if I can find her again. He sticks his hand into the compost and rummages around, his tongue sticking out of his mouth. I guess she got away, he says after a minute. She was real shiny, like a rainbow. Wait, he says. I just thought of a thing I like better. He shows you his splayed hand. Getting dirt under my fingernails, he laughs. I don't know why, but it's the best. All right. Yeah, steps backward very slowly from him. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. 9 is the goal. That should be pretty easy. Oh, wait a minute. There's the XENO egg. We can actually use the XENO egg as a card by the looks of things. And we also have the sun medallion as well. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. That's actually really, really interesting. So basically what we can do is we can use this to change the suit to strength. So we can make that a red card instead of something else. So for example, if we want to do, can I change this to this? Yep, there you go. Look at that. It changed it to a strength card. That's amazing. That's actually really, really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this. Boom. There we go. Do we get anything? We don't get super goal. Why don't we get super goal for doing this? Is it because of the zeros? It's because of the zeros. Let's put that there. Is that super goal? I don't think that's super goal. Is there something I could have done better? Yeah, there's probably something I could have done better, but I'm not entirely sure. That's the thing. I don't know how much I want to go super hard on it, but look at that. We actually did pretty well. We actually did pretty well. It would have been cool to... Wait a minute. Oh, no, I did get the best score. Oh, no, I did get the best score. So apparently there was no super goal for that. Oh, okay. Well, that's absolutely fine then. All right, so it's now late pollen. We can speak to people again. We can't speak to Tammy or anything like that. We can speak to Dice. Should we speak to Dice again? Dice is sitting in the grass near the big gates that lead out to the jungle. He's just staring out into nothingness and picking absent-mindedly at the weeds. He pretends not to notice as you approach. Do you want to play a game? He draws his knees up under his chin. Not really, he mumbles into his sleeve. We could build a fort. No, he speaks more firmly this time. I just want to be left alone. All right, well, that's kind of sad in my opinion. We can speak to Tangent as well. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Howell wants us to prep a list of nature flora with pictures. There should be a catalogue on the Colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. Well, I guess I'll help you find that catalogue. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's HoloNet archives for a list of autumnal plants and animals. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under survey logistics in the expeditions net. And we actually gain some friendship with her as well. Anemone passes by and pulls a face at the two of you. Hey, holo nerds, she shouts. School's over, come play sports ball in the sunshine. Tang just rolls her eyes. Well, there you go. You've got every single personality that you could want in this. And should we do some babysitting? Do I? Sure. Let's see what it's like. Shall we? Let's just see what it's like. It might be something that we never want to do again, but we'll see. Anyway. Hello, reformist. Auntie Seedon greets you even. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so happy you've come to help. You know this place well. The creche, part preschool, part all daycare. You practically grew up here, cared for communally while your parents worked their shifts. A few kids even live in the creche full time. In a way, Antecedent, aka Anne, aka Antecedent, is every kid's mom. The smell of craft glue and clean blankets gives you a calming sense of memory, or calming sense memory of all the... What? Let me speak actually, clearly. Gives you a calming sense memory of all the happy time you spent here with your friends. Tammy is here too, gently rocking a drowsy baby against her chest. She looks at ease here in a way you don't usually see. You're going to babysit too? She asks, in an excited stage whisper. You'll love it. Suddenly, a bundle of wild hair in pink overalls runs straight into you, nearly knocking you over. Almost more kitten than kid, the child grabs your leg and stares up at you with unblinking green eyes. Watch that one, Auntie Sedent warns. You remember Nougat? She's turning out to be quite the handful. Why don't you start off by getting her to go down for her nap? Okay, so, read a book to her, I guess? Read a book? You search through your Hollow Palms library and find a picture book about Earth's dinosaurs. You find a quiet spot on a large beanbag chair, but Nougat squirms in your lap and refuses to sit still. It's not long before her eyes wander away from the pictures, drawn to activity across the room. Oof. She's all elbows and knees as she clambers off your lap, chirping, I'm going now, bye-bye. Nougat makes a beeline for some older kids who are playing with a Creato bot. She charges in to pick up the bot and hug it, causing it to flail and whirl and knock both her and itself over. By the time you get to the scene of the crime, there are tears, and the other kids are upset about their broken bot. The commotion attracts the attention of Auntie Sedent, who swoops in with hugs and tissues. Within minutes, she has it under control. Whoops, she says, hauling Nougat up onto her hip with ease. Just a little mix-up, don't worry everyone, Reformers will get that bot fixed in a jiffy. Sure, I don't think I have any of those skills. Oh, oh dear. Okay, so that XENO thing that I used, that was literally a one-time use. Okay, good to know, good to know. Anyway, let me see what I can do here. Ooh, okay, let's see now. So Dice's card actually gets a +2 if it's in the first or last pane. So it's a really good idea to place that round about here, in my opinion, and then we'll just go for something like this. I think that's the best I can do. I don't think I can do anything better than that. I don't think so, at least. Did I? No, I could have done something better, apparently. I could have done something better. Oh well, never mind. It happens, you know, it happens. I'm not particularly good at some of these challenges. Do bear that in mind. Anyway, yeah, we've got a decent amount of stress. I'm gonna wait a minute. Where are we? Dust season. I'm gonna do one more of these. Shovel dirt. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is gonna be this might be okay actually. Oh, this is actually perfect. You know why this is perfect? Oh yeah, you can see already what's happening here. Boom. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, that is some good stuff right there. I like it. Alright, give me all that toughness, thank you very much. Okay, it's time for Vertumnalia. Udicott and the council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet Vertumna. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Udicott's speech. In Earth's history, Udicott begins and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down. In Earth's history, Vertumna was known as the god of seasons, change, gardens, and fruit. It's no coincidence that our forebears of the Vertumna project chose to take on such an auspicious name, in the hope of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue his tradition of Vertumnalia, a midsummer festival to celebrate our Vertumna, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today. I'm gonna clap. Everyone cheers and applauds. The members of the council all get up on stage one at a time to give their own short speeches. Governor Udicott announces each one. Alright, so obviously all of these people right here. When it's your mother Flulu's turn, she announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown from Vertumnan soil. Your eyes go to the feast table. Aboard the stratosphere, it would have been mostly soy-based food from the nanoprinters, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in the small growing bays. This year, the Earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some Vertumnan plants you've come to appreciate. Juicy watato pods and boba fruits, and slabs of edible fungi. Alright. Okay, so Udicott takes the stage after everyone on the council has said their piece. What is a festival without festivities? She asks. Professor Howell and Security Chief Rat have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children. Okay, so we can just say competitions are dumb if we want to. We can say I'll just watch, or we can do one of these. Obviously, I do not have any creativity whatsoever, and I don't have reasoning either. I do have some creativity, but my reasoning is basically 1. But bot wrestling, on the other hand, I can do this. Alright, let's try it out. A bot wrestling contest. This has been a classic competition for years on the ship. Someone has rigged up a hydraulic lifting bot to slowly stretch out, increasing in strength over time. The aim is to see how long you can hold it closed, using any part of your body before it pops open. An enemy and Cal are competing with you. Cal doesn't like that it's a competition, but he does love bot wrestling. Alright, let's do it. This is a hard challenge, alright? So, and this is also a story challenge as well, instead of just a regular one. And story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. Alright, so we start off with 3 slots. So what we can do, or what I'm going to try to do, is I will try to use... I'm actually not even entirely sure what to do here. This is a bit problematic. Alright, the goal is only 40. Oh, that's actually not even bad. That might be a lot easier than I anticipated. Yeah, let's do this, this, and this. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I want to do, yeah, this, this, and this. There we go. Something like that, I guess. Is that the best I can do? I think so. Yeah, kind of, right? Or I could do... Wait a minute. I could do all of one color. Like that? Is that slightly better? I guess. Whatever. Alright, we'll try it. maybe it's gonna be terrible. Okay, so let's have a look-see here. Let's do something like so. That's 9. I need to do 21 on the last round. Oh, good luck. Good luck to me trying to do that. That's going to be very, very difficult. Maybe I can do something a bit different. Maybe I can do something like this. There we go. That's a little bit better, right? Yeah, then we only need 16. All right. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now we only need 16. So now here's the thing. If I had managed my stress a little bit differently, then I would have had the ability to push through at this particular moment if I had less than 25 stress or 25 stress. And then it would have been absolutely fine. Then we would have been able to do this and I could have won the challenge just straight up. But as it is, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Just a little bit. All right, let me see what I can do here. We're going to make sure that we get everyone there. Ooh, that is... We can push through for plus 25 stress if we want to do that. Or if we don't want to do that, then we can do something a little bit different. Maybe we can do something like this. I don't know. I didn't get any of my good cards. That's the problem, you see. Did not get any of those good cards. Okay, we're going to push through and achieve victory, and we're just going to sustain a little bit of stress. As a result, we gained +1 kudos. Anemone's brother, Com, is the judge, and awards bonus points for technique as well as for brute strength. You sit on the hydraulic bot and use your weight at first, then switch to a bear hug when it starts to wobble and push you off the ground. You make it a full 5 minutes of increasing difficulty before it eventually springs from your grasp and scuttles into a corner, freed at last. You just barely edge out Anemone. She offers you her hand, then pulls it back at the last second before running away, cackling. And we've gained a 5 strength card, which is really pretty amazing. Anyway, after the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days' rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. And look at that. My stress has been reduced as well. Very nice. Okay, great. And because I'm actually the winner of this particular tournament, I now have the ability to earn double kudos for 3 months. Isn't that amazing? Oh yes, I think it is. Alright, so I'm just going to have a look around here. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any collectibles. You never know whether there are some. And we're going to speak to Tangent as well. Reformist, Tangent says, approaching you with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. You mean my buddy Dice? Dish? I have no idea what that means. Yes, Dice, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and I... She trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but well, people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. I'll find out. Thank you, reformist, she says, looking relieved for a second before her expression hardens again. I mean, it would be a ridiculous waste of resources if something happened to him, and no one knew where he was or how to find him. Right, of course. Tang doesn't get worried. Indeed, indeed. Okay, so let's actually see where Dice is then. Oh, he's over here. All right. You tell Dice that his sister Tangent wants to know where he's been disappearing off to. His eyes flit briefly to yours, then he stares vaguely off towards the engineering wing where his sister is reading on her holopalm between classes. He doesn't say anything. Where do you go, Dice? His eyes light up, and he whispers, I bet you'd like it out there, reformist. He motions to the path, stretching away from the colony beyond the walls. I sneak out to go exploring sometimes. There's so much neat stuff. You just have to wait until the grown-ups aren't looking. I'm small, so it's easy. Just don't tell, okay? I don't want to get in trouble. You follow him down to a drainpipe half hidden behind the sports ball fields. Small kids like Dice could fit through it. Or you. Tangent will want to hear about this. Alright, so we've actually unlocked something that I hadn't unlocked before. This is really, really cool. So that means that we now unlocked the ability to sneak out in expeditions. Okay, that's very cool. And it also gave us directions about where we could go. I think it's over here? Yep, there it is. Aha, fantastic. Look at that. That's really, really cool. That actually gives us bravery as well, by the way. Bravery is basically quintessential for going on expeditions publicly. So if you want to do that later on in the game, you're probably going to need to do these kinds of things. And we're not going to do that right now because we are going to report back to Tangent. She's probably going to tell on him, possibly, but I think it would be good for her to know, I guess. I mean, she's worried about him, so why not, right? Anyway, you tell Tangent you know where Dice has been going. You tell her he's been sneaking out to explore the jungle not far away, but outside the walls. Tang looks concerned. Really? She says, wringing her hands. Is it safe? I'll keep him safe. I don't know. She eyes you skeptically. Full offense, reformers, but you're just a kid, she replies. However, I suppose it's good to know he isn't alone out there. All right, so she's not actually going to tell on us. That is pretty nice of her, I suppose. She could easily. And otherwise, I think the best thing for me to do is just to increase my toughness once again, and then we're going to go after that on an expedition. That's probably a good idea. Ah, here we go. It's not always shoveling. You sometimes get to control the huge robotic vehicle that has been fitted with a plow. The roboplow is massive and intimidating, and can easily grind through rocks or even trees. But the colony only has one, so you have to be very careful when you give it instructions. You're tasked with, oh no, with taking a bunch of rocks out of a field and given the roboplow to do it. Oh dear. This is very bad. Cal loads its software up on his holopalm, and there is a lot going on there. All these digital gauges and a long list of possible subroutines with parameters to enter. Reformist, he says, nervously poking at the interface. Do you want to try doing this? Do I? I don't know. I have a bad feeling that this is a mind card, and this is the mind section right here, as you can see. My engineering skill is pitiful, to say the least, so I'm actually going to say, let's use our muscles instead. There we go. The two of you decide you can just dig the rocks out yourselves with some shovels and a backup hand plow. Cal is relieved. Yes, me too. Me too. Yes, indeed. This, he understands. Your mom thinks you're nuts, but hey, you get the job done. I wouldn't want to destroy it. Let's just say that. I really would not want to destroy it. That would be absolutely terrible, wouldn't it? So we're just going to go for a straight right here because, well, I mean, look at it. Why wouldn't we go for the super goal, right? It's fantastic. We've got so much toughness right now. And red cards get +1 in physical challenges. That's amazing now. So we've gotten a bonus like that, which is really, really cool. And look at this, we get a new perk. Yep, that's the new perk that I was talking about just now, and there we go. So now whenever we do a physical challenge, things are going to be easy, or it's going to be easier, shall we say. Just a little bit easier. All right, so it would probably be, I need reasoning 5. How do I get reasoning? By doing life sciences. Okay, I'll do life sciences. Good afternoon, my burgeoning biologists and up-and-coming chemists. Oh yeah, I completely didn't. My name is Professor Howell. Yes, very good. Okay. This afternoon we'll learn what I like to call the wet sciences. He gestures to his hollow-projected lesson plan. Biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. You'll learn a little bit of everything with opportunities for further study in your favorite field. If you're looking for something a little drier, try registering for engineering classes. Well, I'd like to, sir, but I don't have enough reasoning for that. I apparently am a huge dolt because I have no idea how. I have no reasoning whatsoever. But it's fine because we are going to be able to gain reasoning by doing this. So let's have a look-see here. All right, so I'm just going to go for, I guess, something like so. That's not a super goal, right? That's not the super goal. This is the super goal. No. That's the super goal? Yep. There we go. There's the super goal. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Great. Do I get an additional reasoning? No, I just get additional biology. Oh no. I wanted more reasoning. Oh well, never mind, never mind. Okay, so that is that for the month of dust, and this is indeed the wet season, which is now going to be raining all the time. So in other words, this is autumn or fall, if you want to call it that. And yeah, we should probably go on a little expedition, don't you think? Let's do it. Oh, loading screen. Oh, hello there. I had no idea that it actually allowed you to move around and stuff. Okay, hello there. You slipped through the drain pipe and out of the colony before anyone saw you. Anyone, that is, except for a dark form watching you from the trees nearby. Could that be? Is that Dice? He turns and disappears into the jungle. Now you're sure of it. That was definitely Dice. He's not allowed outside the colony either. Follow him. You scamper after him through the brush, heedless of branches and brambles scraping at your arms and legs. Without a proper envirosuit, you get all scratched up. This kid is fast. You quickly lose sight of Dice and can't find his trail again, but you do learn something by trying. +1 perception. Alright, so we lost him. Really? We really lost him? Okay, that's really sad, but oh, what's this? Your way. This is a very cute looking animal, that's for sure. I bet it's the most dangerous thing on this planet. What do you bet? Your way is blocked by a strange small creature with 1 foot and 4 large eyes, 2 of which blink sideways on top of its head like frog eyes. Oh, this must be a hop eye. You've heard people talk about them, but you've never seen one up close. It's running around and around in circles, but stops if you take a step forward and it hisses at you. You didn't know hop eyes could hiss. Okay, it's an animal challenge. We could do an animal challenge. I don't know what that entails. Please don't let me have to kill this. I don't really want to kill something that looks that cute, but okay. Maybe we have to. I don't know. As you get older, challenges can have conditions. The challenge suit, social, mental, physical, determines what conditions can appear and which decks will work best. Try to collect social cards if you want to win battles for social skills. For example, empathy, persuasion, creativity, bravery. Right, well, we actually do have a couple of those. But I have +1 to physical cards, which is actually really, really nice. So we might be able to do something here. Let me see. Oh, we only have a goal of 27. Oh, okay. I think we can actually do this relatively simply then. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this first, then this, then this. I guess that's the best way to do it. Yep. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what to do here, though. That's the problem. We could do this, followed by this. That does nothing. That actually does nothing. So I will just add the 3. Okay, that was very easy, wasn't it? That was very, very easy. Okay, we were able to do that without too many difficulties. We're just going to do this. There we go. Fantastic. Is that a super goal? Yes, indeed. That is a super goal. Thank you very much. Please give me a lot of bravery. I got +1 to animal and +2 kudos. Okay. You stop trying to get past it and just listen. Oh, you can hear little squeaking noises from nearby. It's probably warning you away from its nest. You carefully avoid the nest while speaking in soothing tones. The agitated little guardian titters warnings at you, but eventually lets you by. Alright, I'm very, very pleased about that. And time passes, +15 stress. And so, yeah, you can actually go outside and explore in an open world-ish kind of environment. That is actually very, very cool. I'm going to go home now because my stress level is very high. There we go. You spent the month exploring. Well, I actually would have liked to have done more, but I didn't realize that I would need more stress to be able to do that. Anyway, you're having a terrifying familiar dream. A monster crashing through the walls, unfathomably large, every part of it wriggling and moving and searching for something. It tramples through the colony as you watch helplessly. Time shifts to the wreckage of your home. You're picking through it, looking for something. Tears streaking down your dust-covered face as you lift heavy pieces of debris, searching. You wake up shouting, "No!" but your voice is drowned out by a deafening rumble from the skies outside. The bedroom window is covered in water. It's pouring down from the clouds. You guess this must be rain, but you've never experienced it before. There's a bright flash from outside, then another crack, rumble, crack and rumble, thunder. It must be a thunderstorm. It's still the early hours of the morning. You've already almost forgotten your bad dream, but you're too unsettled to go back to sleep yet. The rain beats down on the roof of your quarters, joined now and then with great peals of thunder like the footsteps of an angry beast. We're gonna run outside and play in the rain. That's what we're gonna do. And we gain +5 rebellion. Oh, well, I didn't intend to do that. I was actually wanting bravery, to be honest, but okay. It's surprisingly warm outside, and the water feels nice hitting your head. Everything smells fresh and damp and wonderful, and the dusty, packed ground has turned to squelchy mud between your toes. You don't go too far from the door to your quarters, but it's exciting being outside in the dark, watching dramatic streaks of lightning arc down to the hills behind the colony. Alright, and now we are in the next month of, well, we're in the wet season, as it is clearly the case. Anyway, I've gotten super carried away. And that's going to be it for this episode of I Was a Teenage EXOCOLONIST. If you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. I would highly recommend it if you love these choice-based adventure kind of stat-raising games like I do. I really, really enjoy them. I love the card mechanics and the ability to now explore outside the compound as well. That really makes a huge difference. It really, really does. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.